This is Kim Meyer, host of Choose to Rise. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Tuning in to Rewritten. First and foremost, thank you. Thank you for being a listener. I need you, if you have not yet, please, this takes 5 seconds. If you could just go rate this podcast, you can even do it while listening to it. Rate this podcast and leave a review, and it makes a huge difference. I just need you to know that we are trending in the top 300. It was like 260 or something. I can't remember the number, 240. I don't know the number. Of all self-improvement podcasts. What the actual heck? So your reviews matter, and thank you for that. Please do that. And then also screenshot this episode, upload it to Instagram, tag me, and I cannot wait to hear how this speaks to you. Like, that is just a huge thing on my heart. Another thing, my good friend, Kylie Hempy, she just created and came out with her podcast, and it's called Home Team. And it's all about motherhood, Home Team. It is amazing. Moms, you need to download this podcast and subscribe to it ASAP. It is so good. Kylie interviews her friends that are moms and specifically asks them questions based on what she admires in them as moms. So I think it's just super unique and amazing. She actually just interviewed me, and she valued that I came into motherhood confident. And so she asked me about that. She asked me about my confidence with motherhood and how that happened. She also recognized that self-care has been a huge priority to me postpartum. She asked me questions about that, of how I've made that work. What does this even mean? And what my self-care even is. And I break that down. And then she also asked me a question that I thought was super powerful about how more than ever she thinks that I am going for dreams and my vision and goals even more now as a mom, and not losing myself into that mom role, but being able to still be myself and develop myself. So definitely go check out her podcast, subscribe to it, listen to it, and you can even tag me and I'll let her know that you're listening, and definitely tag her. She would be so grateful. It's so fun to watch other women go for it. It is so fun to watch them win. It is so fun to see them figure out things, and it's so fun for them to discover passions and you be able to support them. My good friend who's about to have a baby was just talking about her postpartum journey and having a plan for it. I did the same thing. And someone said to her, "Good luck with that." And I came up with this quote and shared it with the team that I mentor of, just because you won't, don't tell someone they can't. I think in life, people are constantly self-evaluating, and when they see someone going for it or doing something that they wish that they could do, they automatically could put all these limitations on that other person, and it's toxic. It is not healthy. It is not good. And more than anything, it's not good for yourself. So my advice is, when you see someone going for it, so such as my friend, get it, mama. Way to go. I love that you're making a plan. That's so awesome. I want to connect with you. I want to see how you're doing that. That's something that I wish to do as well. Instead of putting her down. And I think the same thing with life. When you see someone going for it, cheer for them. Bring them into your corner. Be winning with them. It's so powerful, and it changes your mindset on scarcity, because it's just because someone is going for it and you aren't, doesn't mean that you're missing out or losing. And I think we have this mindset about that. And so then we just don't want people to go faster than us. But I just don't think it's a pace or a race. I really don't. I just think that it's just a constant growth. That's what life is. So today, I want to talk to you about something that's relevant in my life. I feel like a lot of my friends are going through big transitions, and that can be hard to watch. It can be fun to watch. It can just be a whole lot of other things, this and that. And I just think about all the change that I've been through and how difficult it was. And I want to give you some pointers and some tips that I did that helped me navigate change. I just think of two of my best friends. One moved and then one is moving. And when you move, it changes everything comfortable. I mean, even finding a hairstylist or a grocery store or a cafe and coffee shop that you like, it really forces your brain to not be on autopilot. And now, being through so much change, I see the benefit in it, but it doesn't make it easy. It doesn't make it easy at all. I think that there's major change when there is postpartum journey of bringing a kid into the world. That creates a lot of change. And so after just thinking about this and seeing my friends go through change and have to make big decisions based on jobs, life changes, relationships, whatever, it just got me thinking that not a lot of people think through the steps of self-care in those moments. And so I just wanted to share what I think with you. And so first and foremost, I am reading this book with my crew, An Enemy Called Average. What I love about my team is that we are so focused on fitness and nutrition, but we're more focused on mindset and community and celebrating other people. So something we've been doing is a book club, and An Enemy Called Average is the one that we're using, and it kind of works as a devotion as well. But this specific one, it was Nugget 32, Your Problem is Your Promotion. And this is what I underlined. Do you ever think about that? Like, that's a great question to ask, is what did you underline today? What spoke to you today, right? So what I underline is no obstacle leaves you the way it finds you. It changes you for the better or worse. It's the way you look at it that makes all the difference. No obstacle leaves you the way it finds you. It changes you for the better or worse. And I've seen both. I've seen change be the worst thing ever for people, but I've also seen it as a huge opportunity to be better. Every obstacle has a limited lifespan. That freaking spoke to my soul. Every obstacle has a limited lifespan. Sometimes we think it's forever. We worried about the things last year that we can't even remember today. Isn't that so true? Don't believe the devil when he tells you that things will not change and that they will not pass. Every problem has a soft spot. Obstacles subdue mediocre people, but great leaders rise above them. Oh, I love that. Isn't that so good? I just underlined that, and it just really spoke to me. And I also underlined, someone said that obstacles are what we see when we take our eyes off the goal. And the goal isn't just something in business or career. The goal to be happy, the goal to live more fulfilled, the goal to live more fit, and focusing on the goal of heaven and all these things where it's just like, I know that this is just making me. I know that this is just helping me. So with my friends who are going through transition and change, I think that these are key elements. And honestly, the thing that really lit my fire with making a podcast episode about this is that I just went to a girls' hangout and we took a picture, and then my friend sent me the picture, and I just looked at that picture and how warm it was and how genuine the friendships are to me when I look at those pictures. And that wasn't the case 3 years ago. I felt so empty and so lost and so homesick and so sad. I was struggling. I wanted to move back home. I thought that would solve everything. I wanted to take the easy way. I wanted to make the shortcut. I didn't want to live through the discomfort, right? And meaning it would have been easier for me just to move back. That's what I thought. I didn't want to deal with it. And instead of that, I started to do things that helped me get to that picture that we took. And I think that this is really important to hear. Because when I looked at that picture, it brought tears to my eyes because I knew the journey it took to feel that warm. To have an incredible community here in NorCal. To lean on people that I would have never met if I didn't take this leap. knowing the pain and the struggle and the obstacles that it took to get to that is everything. So what did I do to get there? And it also, so not only that picture, but also the question my friend Kylie asked me on her podcast, the Home Team podcast, is how did you build a mom tribe? And I said faith, and it didn't just happen. And what I meant by that is when I moved here, Eric and I plugged into a church. Our first goal with moving was to find a church. And then what did I have to do? It's not about just going to church. When someone joins my team and wants to build a business, it's not going to happen when you just join the conversation, right? You're going to have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to take action on the uncomfortable things. So we didn't just join a church. We also started volunteering. And if you know me, I'm an outgoing introvert. That stuff is massively uncomfortable to me. Small talk is not my favorite thing. I'm working on it, right? Then what did we do? We decided to host a life group, meaning strangers coming into our house and talking about Jesus. We decided to do that. Because we chose to do that, we met some of the most amazing people in my life. So it didn't stop there. We decided we need to join a group about marriage. Because we made that decision, we decided to go to my friend Kylie Hempy's house, who did the Home Team podcast and who sent me that picture of the hangout, right? It's all coming full circle. But what you need to know is that when I first walked through the doors of Kylie's house for our marriage life group, I was so uncomfortable. I didn't know anyone, and I was missing home, and I was sad, and then I knew I had to keep going back. And there were times that we didn't. And then there were many times where Kylie said, "Are you coming today?" That held me accountable for just showing up. And then wouldn't you know, we kept going back, and then it kept getting better. It kept getting better. We saw the value in it. We didn't leave that group. And then now, these people have transformed my life. They make me so excited. There's so many moms in this group now, and they're my friends, and they go for big goals and dreams, and they just lift me up. But it's because I made all of these decisions through transformation, through change, through difficult circumstances. So for those of you who are going through change, I really think it's valuable to find certain spaces that you can put yourself into. And for those of you who feel like you're just on autopilot, I think it's important to switch it up. Being on autopilot means you're doing the exact same thing every single day. So maybe you join a club, a kickball team, a rec league. You start taking singing lessons, swim lessons. You're putting yourself out there to meet new people and do new things because it's going to grow you and it's going to feel uncomfortable and it's going to stretch you. But I can't help but think a few years from now, whether you moved, your house is going to be full of so much laughter and joy because you chose to move there and you stuck it out and you started building relationships. Your eyes are going to be open to passions that you didn't even know that you had because you said yes to moments because you put yourself out there. You decided to get a rock climbing membership. You decided to take a sailing lesson. You decided to go to that coffee shop. You're rerouting your brain. You're making it think. You're making it push hard. And then you're growing and you're meeting people that you never knew existed. You're deepening friendships. You're deepening your relationship. You're deepening trust within yourself and confidence within yourself. I think it's really easy to get on autopilot, and I also think it's really easy to throw in the towel when a lot of change happens. And those are my tips to you because it just made me smile with all these things that have been happening in my life recently that it didn't happen by accident. It's not because I'm lucky. It's because I put myself in a lot of uncomfortable situations, but I also made healthy habits around growing myself through a hard time. Friend, thank you for listening to this episode. I'm just so excited that you tune in, and I'm just pumped that Rewritten is a part of your weekly podcast. And if you are seeking 2020 as the greatest year ever, and you want to work on your fitness, your nutrition, your mindset, you want to be in a bigger conversation, a better conversation, I really do believe you become the people you surround yourself with. And if you're just seeking growth, seeking even just maybe more income or just new friendships, new freedom, and you want more choices in life, I mentor women in business by helping them get more fit and live more fit in every area of life, as well as helping other people. And there's power to that. So friend, reach out at juliannecondia.com or at juliannecondia on Instagram. Screenshot this. Let me know how it spoke to you. Thanks for tuning in.